hits, and it's two heroes today. Two heroes in this series, Ken. We're having the Lupin number 7 and the Zhuangzi as well. So, like you said, we was on about this at the show match when they banned it. They didn't want that anti-CC part of their kit, but now it comes through, Ken. How are we feeling about those last 2 picks on the side of Team Secret?
Very nice picks, but it has to be in accordance with the laning phase as well, right? Zhuangzi, if he falls off in the laning phase, especially as a roam and a support, is not going to look good for the side of Team Secret. So LGD, I think, with the draft they have at this point, slightly better. Slightly better, they have a better chance of winning and potentially flipping the script on Team Secret.
Yeah, they have plenty of aggression, but they don't really have a tank. So once that's, if we can see Team Secret, especially TNX, I have no doubt in my little mind that TNX can really make this Dune pick shine, like a lot of the teams throughout the Season 2 Invitational. Pairing that with the Zhuangzi is going to be really interesting. And obviously, Lubin number 7, they don't really have a tank on the side of Team LGD, which is normally when you see the Lubin come through, because obviously he shreds with his piercing of his passive once he gets to those stacks of his basic attack. But he can also use that second ability to get some really vital intel for his team, which is how I use him in my rank matches, and it goes pretty well, to be honest, using that rocket just to land it onto either the Tyrant or the Overlord, just to see where the boys are at on the enemy team.
Yep, so definitely I'm going to be expecting a couple of items coming out from Yuhan, and there's what? First blood already?
I blinked. What happened? What happened? What happened there? It just literally first blood onto TS Sun. LGD are no longer playing any games with this series. They are still in it to win it. But giving it over to yourself, Kin, do you want to explain Zhuangzi?
Alright, so Zhuangzi is normally used as a anti-CC cannon, right? So with his ultimate butterfly effect, he will remove all CC effects of the team within range, as well as give them a shield. At the same time, his first and second skills do deal a little bit of damage, and right off the bat, I think Lu might be threatened by the existence of Musang King in the mid.
Yes, absolutely. Musang King, as we know, is an early game killer. He loves those first bloods. He loves those aggressive plays. But to be honest, TNX on the Dune, he is definitely one of the heroes that can kind of mitigate too many kills onto the enemy jungle, right? Because Dune can soak with those shields from his second ability. Obviously, his knock up from his first ability when it lands once. Again, these are all great parts of the engages for the Dune pick, but then obviously you have your own Unruly Blade for his ultimate, just being able to catch the backline when he wants to. But no catching has been happening yet, right?
Yeah, but you know, I just want to point out the importance of both the support picks, especially this Zhuangzi, right? So Yuhan actually synergizes with the team extremely well, because with the Kaleidoscope, his first skill, he slows members down. So opponents actually will be able to feel the full brunt of the skills coming out from each individual member of Team Secret. So flip the script, LGD, the saving grace comes in the ult offered by Zhe as well. So if he can push them back far enough, the skills won't be able to reach the members on the side of LGD.
Yep, here we go. Lubin popping down his ultimate just to clear this minion wave as well, just to keep them away from that turret. We want to be keeping as much safety for these T1s as possible, so the Team Secret can take the advantage for themselves in the early game. But this is definitely a different pace of Game 3, right, Ken? There has been completely a little bit of a strip back, a little bit more of a, right, we could potentially close this game out now. We've got to play very serious. But with this team comp, because we haven't seen it before, I feel like there's a little bit of room for error here on the side of Team Secret, Kim.
Yep, we're actually looking at a replay of Wild Wild West, right? So we have both teams sizing each other up, waiting for the countdown for when the fight begins, and this is it.
Yes, a potential team fight there, but there was no way to get over that wall. Even with the Mai getting over the wall, she would be left alone. But the Unruly Blade coming through for TNX. Down goes the Lady Chen, but is soon answered by the Jing on the side of Team Secret. So that is a 1-1 trade so far. TNX not looking too hot in the mid lane now that it's a 3v1. Now backing off, I feel, is probably they've done what they need to do on the side of LGD. It's now time to back off retreat, keep farming, and it looks like they're going to go for this first Tyrant over the first Overlord, like we can see with Team Secret.
That's right, typical LGD fashion, but TNX makes the first move, actually getting the Overlord for the team. So they understood, hey, we need to make a trade, but it's still a trade in LGD's favor.
Yep, ever so slightly ahead with the gold. It's about 300 gold lead, which is not massive at all, but both of these games so far have not been huge gold leads, to be honest, Ken. They have been very small to begin with, and then obviously as the roll out towards the closure of the games, then yes, we start to see a few thousand gold here and there, but we've not seen like exponential amounts of gold lead differences in the early game, and we are getting into that 5th minute and still not quite as brawly as game 2. We're seeing a little bit of an interaction here between JR and Sun and Hugh 1, but again, nothing really coming of it, just a little bit more tit for tat on both of these teams.
Yep, it's a bit concerning though for the farm lane of LGD, because he's not able to kill Sun after that first blood, which is really unfortunate, because once you know, Sun actually gets his Doomsday or even the Blood Reaper, it's going to be a very tough fight, because Sun will lifesteal like a monster.
Yep, it's definitely going to be a feat for Team Secret to try and get Sun to that point, it seems, because they've just lost their T1 on the farm lane by LGD. So first turret and first blood going over to LGD currently.
Yep, I would expect, you know, Ominous Premonition to be coming out in throws for the side of Team Secret. We might potentially see a catcher. I don't think they will allow it. They still have the cooldown for TNX's ulti. But yeah, in any case, looks like no, he will not be going for the lifesteal just yet for the side of Sun.
Yep, not quite, not quite. He's looking to build something else. What is he brewing up there, Kin? We will yet to find out when he gets a little bit closer to the item, it seems. But again, speaking of getting closer, Lung getting a little bit too close to Jing there within that mid lane. Is able to actually escape. Dolia gets a rocket to the face, but other than that, it's a pretty much a non-starting team fight, whereas TNX is now here. Will we see a little bit more of a brawl from both of these Malaysian teams in this mid lane, where they're trying to clean the minions just so they can try and force a good team fight, try and get a few pickoffs here in the mid lane, but it's not gonna happen. We're seeing a huge focus onto the side lanes though for LGD this time around.
Yeah, looking a little bit more like the LGD that we know and love, right? So they have established a little bit more map control, and yes, to answer your question, Sun will be going for the Eternity Blade a little bit earlier in comparison to the Doomsday or the Blood Reaper, which I feel could bite them in the butt, because at this stage, it looks like JR is really close to the Doomsday.
Yes, and you don't want to Derengi on the Doomsday. We see that Derengi kind of falls off towards the late part of the game, especially if it's down to the positioning. He doesn't have much to hide behind because, again, Mai can pretty much get into the back line. We have Dune with the Unruly Blade as well, but currently the way that Team Secret are playing right now, they are going back to the roots of Game 1, just sort of playing on the back foot. They're playing very defensive, but they don't have the Dachau or the Futsu this time around, so is this going to be their Hercules heel?
Well, I think they're gonna look at pulling the game to the Tempest Dragon.
Potentially. I mean, there was a little bit of a dive, a little bit of interaction there onto the side lanes, but now we are seeing an assault onto the T2, and before they even get there, Moose and King making quick work of their T2 in the farm lane. So LGD playing a really solid early to mid game right now. We see the Dharma going in that gets the knock on to Lung, but just not quick enough for him to catch out the Mai Shiranui in that mid lane. TNX at the front of the fight gets a knock up onto the minions, but soaks a little bit too much damage there. He's pretty much at half health going into this interaction, this next team fight. We have a lane on the side lane. We haven't really seen a lane very present into the team fights, Ken.
Yeah, not just yet. He's not tanky enough yet. Just the Blazing Cape along with the Sparkbolt Dagger. So at this point, it's a war of attrition, right? So Team Secret, they want to trade out these turrets for space to farm and, you know, maybe turn around some surprise kills as well. So you will see Team Secret just make a little peels across the map, because what they're waiting for is actually the extremely late game. That's when their true power spike comes. And you can see just by the building of items on Yuhan, they're really wanting to take this slow. He is going for the Glacial Buckler at this point. He could also go into the Ominous Premonition.
Yep, Elaine and Dharma going in for a little bit of engage here. Dharma knocks the Elaine into the wall, but the Death on Sunset's not going to save him. No, we see that JR gets the kill onto Zhuan in the Clash Lane, and that opens up their tier 2 in the Clash Lane, whereas Dunn is a sitting duck right now in the brush. Not too sure how to navigate this next part of this match, but LGD for sure showing how they want to navigate this, and it's with pure aggression, kid. There's nothing stopping them as of yet. They are plenty ahead of gold here. They are 4k ahead, which is a slippery slope here for Team Secret, it seems.
Yep. All they have to do is to try and hang on, but LGD looking to cut that a little bit short. Neutral objectives at the 10-minute mark are going to be spawning. These are the shadow versions of themselves.
Yeah, so far we've seen that LGD have been very Tyrant-orientated. Once again, very complimentary on the pick of DRNG, because you not only get the Chain Lightning, you get the enhanced damage as well. So they pick up the first Shadow Tyrant of the game, and Team Secret not positioned well enough to try and go for the Shadow Overlord.
Yep, at this point, once again, I think we might see a replay of Game 1. They want to just be a bit more laid back and, more defensive in nature, because Sun actually bought the Protector's Cuirass, means he's willing to tank a little bit more damage before they go for the full evolution of items just yet.
Musan King putting TNX's name to shame in Game 3, because TNX was ahead of 10k gold in Game 2, and then Musan King was sitting comfortably behind with 6k as well. So we're seeing the flip, the switcheroo right now on the side of LGD. Red side looking pretty much stronger. Lubin really with a surmountable amount of effort there, trying to steal the Shadow Overlord from the side of LGD, knowing that they had Primal Bond. But we are seeing a bit of aggression here onto the mid lane T2. It does get taken down by LGD. Once again, Team Secret forcing themselves back to play at base.
Yep, they have to be careful, because this is a potential bait play coming out from LGD. They do have the cooldowns onto the ultimates of Zhe, which means Celestial Melody could refresh the Truth Mantra. That will be a very painful one to eat from the side of Team Secret.
And so far, I mean, Xiang's actually played very well. He hasn't managed to close a kill for himself, but assist-wise, he has 2. And the way he's actually formulating these team fights is definitely working on the side of LGD. And down goes the high ground turret here, Kin. I don't know how much longer they can wait till the Tempest Dragon, because it doesn't look like Team Secret's going to be able to actually secure and get to that point, right?
Yeah, you know what? They might be taking too long at this point to really farm up properly. And LGD recognize that, which is why there's so much oppression coming in from the Malaysia counterpart of LGD.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're very confident with what's going on with their team comp here, but Zhuan is looking confident going in with a Sunset, Death on Sunset, but actually doesn't claim anything there on the side of LGD, more just of a scare tactic to keep them away.
Yep, at this point,
oh, okay.
Nice
Mirror Domain coming through, doing a lot of damage onto Lubin there, but still not quite enough to take down anymore. But to be fair to Team Secret, they've only died 3 times, so not quite the massacre that I think LGD were hoping for in this Game 3, but still, they could still be looking at a victory here for themselves.
Yeah, but I actually like the itemization, coming out from Direntia here. So JR actually went for the Deep Frost Siege, so he's going to be a little bit more tanky, still be able to deliver a lot of the damage coming out from his kit so far. And likewise, on the flip side, Starbreaker for the Lubin, which means he already recognizes the Guardian and Redemption coming out from this side of Zhe. So he wants to be able to melt down those armor points as well. Yep, as it stands now, it's looking a little bit spicy for the side of Team Secret here. They are just left with the T3s on the top and in the mid. And so far, Musan King has been doing well to be able to use the Mirror Domain on the edges to try and deal the damage onto Team Secret. And he has been working out so far. Most of the time, Team Secret does get burned down and sliced and cut up quite a bit.
Yes, so Moose and King able to claim the Shadow Tyrant there for once again on the side of LGD. Not looking the hottest it is for Team Secret here right now. Kin, again, still playing with their backs against the walls, it seems. But how long can they hold this on for? Because they don't have the likes of the Joyu in game 1, right? There's no real pressure to force these waves out other than the Luban ultimate. Dharma trying to get over to the wall there with those skills, and then Jing is pretty much diving, very aggressive. Down goes the higher ground turret for for Team Secret. Sorry, not LGD. LGD wiping out the higher ground turret there in the mid lane, and it looks like they are still hanging on till that 15-minute mark, right?
Yeah, but it's a difficult situation, right? Because, example, Sun, his shot cannon, great at, sourcing out information, but most of the benefit actually comes from the damage dealt when people are lower on health. And so far, no one on the side of Team Secret has been able to kind of melt anyone on the side of LGD.
It's no secret that Team Secret are having a hard game 3, right? They are being starved of their jungle, the jungle objectives. They are being pretty much just restricted to their base at this point, it seems, Ken. Like, there's just no freedom of movement for the side of Team Secret, and that's quite worrisome because now the LGD are 51k and Team Secret are 43k. So again, that's an 8k difference, and that is something to be scared about going into what could potentially be a final assault onto the high ground turret here, Ken. There is a potential here for them to take it down. No, the minion wave and the Vanguard was whittled down on the side of the Clash lane. However, we're still seeing JR just throwing those cards left, right, and center, just trying to get the damage done to the high ground turret. Luban rocket to the back of the team fight. There is these Death on Sunset as well coming through for Team Secret, but still nothing, no kills, no deaths, but I may have spoken a little bit too soon there. TNX soaking up a lot of damage. We see that Lady Shun is able to take down Q1 as well. I believe LGD are going to not be going down without a game point here, and that is game 3 going over to LGD, coming back in LGD fashion, baby.
Yep, a much cleaner game.